Who is gonna be, right? um, Schedule your day like you would if you had live meetings. That's being kind. Have a start and end time for your day, right? 20 Zoom meetings in one day is just not a good idea. So start and end your day and give yourself a little bit of reward. Small but meaningful. What is it that you find rewarding? For me, I love to go outside for just a minute and hear the birds. That's rewarding. It doesn't cost me anything. What is it that you do for you? And I know you're like, okay, I've heard this a million times, self-care, blah, blah, blah. I hear you. But if we don't, how can we be the best for those that we're serving if we're not the best to ourselves? What are we modeling if we don't do it for ourselves? The other thing that we can tell you is take brain breaks. A lot of novel information actually sends the brain a message that like this is a surprise and like, whoo, pay attention, amygdala goes off and all this other stuff. So not so much new all the time, novelty and then not. Too much novelty, the brain shuts down, we become exhausted. So take that time, take a brain break. Give yourself a moment many times throughout the day to take care of yourself. It's what you would do for a little one, for a baby. You wouldn't overstimulate them because what happens when a baby becomes overstimulated? They cry. Why do they cry? Because the system is exhausted, it's overwhelmed. We as adults have learned to cognitively override and we don't cry anymore. Well, sometimes we do. But our brains tell us, and then we feel agitated or upset or frustrated or overwhelmed. So take care, just like we would for our littlest ones. Plan interaction time, social interactions. I saw it in the chat. You need it. Process meetings, write them down, speak them out. And then another one is pick up the phone, right? How many times? Does it always have to be video? Prior to February 2020 or March 2020, how many video meetings did you have? You had a lot of conference call meetings. So because we have the technology doesn't mean we always have to use it, right? So phone calls, does everything have to be face-to-face? The thing about the video is that it takes away the illusion that others are 100% paying attention to you. Didn't you think that you're on a phone call, you're like, yeah, I know they're listening to me. I'm not 100% paying attention to them, but I'm walking around, I'm doing stuff. We have this illusion. And when we take away that illusion, research says that's challenging for us and for our ability. So we need the illusion. Take a phone call. Remember this? Remember we were tied to a phone? Anybody remember these little cords like this? We were tied to a phone. It was a call. So sometimes we just need a phone call. We don't need a video call. So identify when we need that. The other thing is Dr. Dan Siegel says, laughter brings about this window of tolerance. It helps build our brains. So learn to laugh, have fun. When's the last time you actually laughed? Like belly laugh, like, oh my gosh, belly laugh. If you talk to Lisa, you'll find a way to laugh. She will find something that will make you smile, that will help you smile. Look at her. I mean, if you're looking at her visual, right, the 30 seconds, I'm staring at her right now, ha ha. And she's smiling, right? She's got chin, grin, ears, and to find that thing that gives you a belly laugh. Maybe it's something that someone in your house did, maybe anything. Viktor Frankl says, humor is one of the soul's weapons in the fight for self-preservation. So to preserve ourselves, we need a little humor, right? We need a little laughter. We need something. And then I'm just going to tap on this, and then I have a quick little clip for you all. I know I'm almost done, right? 10:45. I know, right? Social, emotional, behavioral functioning. This is my baby, right? We work with EBD. And so defining what that is, we know 6 to 10% of our children, our school-age children, may have that eligibility or at risk for that eligibility. So when we think about EBD, they feel inside, they have a lot of behaviors inside, worry and self-consciousness and sadness. And we get a lot of diagnoses and things that you can see, the internalizing diagnosis and the externalizing diagnosis. But the other thing that we see is this outward displays as well, that sense of aggression, hyperactivity, and perceptions. When I look at EBD and I think about the virtual world, consider what we are experiencing, right? Now I want you to place a child with that eligibility or at risk of that eligibility in a virtual learning world. Add the risks, attention challenges, social interaction challenges as guided by their eligibility, right? So then add family dynamics and a trauma history. How do they process nonverbal cues? What's the impact to them? How do they understand it? If we're exhausted, aren't they naturally exhausted too? And so if they have the increased risk of behavioral responses, aren't they going to do that in a virtual world too? And aren't they going to check out? So when we think about what we want to do for our youth, when we're one of the things we want to do is kind of think about this. We said we missed relationships. They do too. So there's this strategy, it's called 2 for 10. And probably many of you guys have heard of 2 for 10. For 2 minutes, for 10 consecutive days, build a relationship with a child. Ask them something, interact with them on something that's non-academic. Help them through that virtual challenge. There's this thing called, Dr. Dan Siegel says, neurons that wire together, fire together. The more that we do something, the more pattern it happens, the more it is allowing us to actually experience that. So laughing, you have to laugh every day. 2 for 10, 2 minutes for 10 consecutive days, laughter will become a part. Building that relationship with a child that may have that eligibility will help us do these things. Help them to de-escalate those big emotions, help them to focus on positives. And again, it's not an EBD, but I wanted to bring forth because these are my passions, right? Keeping them emotionally regulated also helps the adult helper, right? And don't we just have to breathe? I think that's important. I'm going to pass through this because I know I've got only 10 minutes. I'm supposed to give time for questions. So I'm going to just say we have to build resilience. And in the future, I'm going to do something called a heart math training on building resilience. But reality is that we prep, shift, and reset and sustain resilience. Resilience is more than the ability to bounce back. It is the ability to set ourselves up for when we face these challenges, because we are going to face them. Virtual world is not going away, right, guys? It's just not happening. We have discovered it. It has opened the door, and here we are. But we can build resilience. We can sustain and help us through these things in these times. The key aspect is self-awareness. One of the most important steps in being able to stop energy drains, which is virtual, increase resilience, is to be aware of where we are, how we are, and what we need. I'm going to finish with a video and then it's only like 2 minutes, maybe 2.5, but it's really good. And then open it up for any questions.
Can everyone hear me? But we'll try and at least discuss.
Guys, what happened? She left the meeting. Yeah, she left the meeting. It kicked her out the internet. Yeah. Can you guys see me?
All of you guys, I see that there's a little record sign at the top of the screen. So the teacher's recording this. She can watch us and see that we're not behaving.
Yeah, I know.
And the principal.
Yeah, we know.
That should be serious trouble.
I know, but I'm just like muting my mic because I don't want to talk.
So we should behave.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. My mom told me that. I'm eating gummies.
Because if the principal finds out that video of if we were being bad right now, she would see us being very bad, and we would get in big trouble with our parents.
Well, we'll be toast. We'll be toast. We're just talking. Toast means, oh, we're in trouble. I want toast.
Guys, she doesn't have our number, our phone.
And whoever said will be toast, whoever said that, I'll maybe have toast for breakfast tomorrow.
I said that.
That sounds really good.
They don't.
That sounds fun.
They don't know our number.
I said with toast and eggs. That sounds really good with lettuce. Not eggs.
So I just wanted to process what you all thought about that. Do you feel like this is our meetings? Everything goes this way. I open up the door conversation. I love to end with a little bit of humor. Any thoughts or comments? I know I have about 6 minutes. I'm supposed to leave you 15 for comments, but I always overtalk.
I think she's choosing to do other things with her time.
I love the video. That was fantastic. And yeah, it actually brought tears to my eyes because it was so funny. But a lot of people, myself included, asked if you can share the link.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will put it in the chat. It is hilarious, right?
So funny.
It is
But
funny.
it's so good because we can know, I think that all of us can, and it's good because it also is kind of putting into perspective what our kids are going through and the distractions, and that, you know, that even at the high school level or the college level, I've heard, you know, things, you know, going on like, oh my gosh, like what's going on?
And how easy it is. Oh, somebody
So
said toast. Okay. Yeah. I think
Thanks, Dawn.
that sounds good. Thank you,
Like
Dawn.
Dawn has- yeah.
You found it already.
That's great.
And then here are just some of the resources from today, if any of you guys are interested. Some of the websites that's out there, and then my information. I know I went a little.
Is your personal writing.
That's what happens. We don't know to mute or unmute. And so it's the virtual world and we all are so good at it. Any thoughts, comments? I know you guys need a probably what I'm calling now bio breaks. I stole that from somebody else in another training. Anything, Lisa, or you guys need to share or say or do?
Just to say thank you very much for a wonderful presentation and for a little humor and a little brain break there. We appreciate it. There is a lobby immediately following this that if you're having technical issues or have questions, you can pop into. And thank you very much. What? Oh yeah, don't forget to do your evaluations. If you go into the session, yes. If you go into the session on Event Moby, you'll see it that scroll to the bottom, you'll see that there's a link to do the evaluation, and then just select this session from the list and it will let you do the evaluation for it. And it's very much appreciated.
Yes, please.
We love our feedback, right?
Absolutely. It allows us to always be improving. So
yes. And I'm not seeing any questions, just lots of great comments about great information, how much they appreciate it.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks you all. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Woohoo! Have a little fun. Remember to laugh.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much. And Charlene, don't hang up yet.
Yes, ma'am. You stopped recording?
No. Oh, hold on. I got it. Well, that's about the recording. Hold on.